Now, the second lesson that we want to discuss is that if you decided that you already cleared the barrier as a government and you're allowing startups to develop, it makes total and perfect sense for the governments to actively invest budgets in the promotion of their local startup ecosystem. So usually we're very much against government spending, but in this case, we're very much for it, and we're going to explain why. First of all, a good startup ecosystem can contribute a great deal to the economy and can make a giant impact. Sometimes even a startup ecosystem can push the entire economy to a very, very positive direction that nobody has expected. I'm wondering if someone in the chat can give us a guess of one or two countries like that the startup ecosystem has really pushed the economy and the quality of life forward. So feel free to put your guesses in the chat, and we'll see who is getting closer. So I'm looking forward to seeing if someone puts answers. So Joshua is talking about Singapore with cryptocurrency. That's a good example. Actually, it's becoming a hub. So that's great. I don't know actually the impact that it has on the actual economy, but I heard a lot about Singapore, so that's a great example. Manuel is saying Estonia. Estonia is definitely a great example of how the startup ecosystem has totally pulled the economy of the country, and it's actually one of our case studies. So we're going to discuss Estonia very, very soon. Catherine is saying the UK. I would not think about the UK, but now that I see your answer, you're definitely right. It's becoming a fintech country. It's ranked second after the USA, which was very surprising for us. So definitely the UK is a great example of how startups and innovation can push the economy forward as well, and hopefully also help the UK to cope with Brexit. So that's you all gave really good examples. We're going to discuss a few more later on. Good. So that's the second takeaway is basically that it's worthwhile to invest in the growth of your ecosystem because the benefits for the economy can be outstanding. So we've seen a few examples of that right now with the help of the attendees. Now, the second thing over here to say is that talented people can now easily move between locations. And the locations are actually in competition. That's kind of funny, but actually cities, even within the same country, and especially within countries, are competing with each other on talent. And a country can totally get depleted from talent if it's not careful, because people can move pretty fast now, and countries are very keen to receive talent. So if you have great talent in a country, but the ecosystem is bad, you're going to see a situation that all your top entrepreneurs are leaving when they're young and building their success story outside. So, of course, the government has a clear role in preventing this situation because you don't want to stay without your top talent living somewhere else. It makes absolutely no sense. And I'll just say over here that if we speak about why it's worthwhile to actually be very much involved for governments in startup ecosystems, especially in the initial phase, we've seen something else. The good examples where it works is where the top officials are aligned into it. And I'm talking by the top officials, I'm talking about the ministers, I'm talking about the mayors and so on and so on. If they're going to assign this task, let's say, to a semi-level official, there is limited power. But if they themselves are setting this as a clear goal, a very important goal that they want to promote, it's critical. So for example, in Canada, I can give you an example, that Navdeep Bains, the Science Minister of Canada, is doing a lot of work to specifically promote the ecosystem. He was also very happy with our report. He sent an announcement on Canada being third. So the idea is that he's doing a great job. In Vilnius, you have the mayor of Vilnius that is actually in contact with us a little bit to see what he can do to promote the ecosystem and so on and so on. So if I'm now in Kazan in Russia, and over here there is also a lot of work on the top level to improve the ecosystem. So the idea is very simple. If the top officials are involved, everyone is going after that. If they're not involved and they don't set it as a goal, it's a lot more complicated. So that's something else. And the conclusion over here is that after we've made sure that the government is not doing any damage, the second worst thing to do after doing damage is doing nothing. It makes total sense, yes, to be active and try to promote the ecosystem if you're a government.